everybody. It's the coach. This is...
It is a building that first hosted football way back in 1966 as EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Oakland, California. Today, it's a matchup in the AFC West between our visitors and the Oakland Raiders. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On 1st and 10, Rivers. He's got a man complete. It's Clay. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself a...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Shane Ray in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game.
And he's going to go down again. The product of Jersey City to hear Whitehead on the sack.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack.
Here we go.
It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. On play action, now Carr. Got him in, it's Brown. Antonio Brown, kiss him goodbye. And all the way in, touchdown, Oakland. Antonio Brown with touchdown number 8 on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well-organized, well-coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you...
Blitz coming, and down he goes. To hear Whitehead in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Here's the first carry for Northwestern's Justin Jackson. He's able to get 4 back on the run, but now they'll have to find something here on 3rd and about 14. They go play action. Rivers. He's going to look for Allen now on the deep. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen, 79 yards, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And there, a post route started out right, caught it in the middle of the field, went into the end zone. What typically makes those successful, those deep post routes?
You need help from your complementary receivers, okay? The guy that you want to get the ball is the guy that we just saw catch it and take it into the end zone. So he needs help from the other guys who have to occupy anyone in the middle of the field. Whether it's one safety, sometimes you get 2 guys in there, either run routes at them so they have to cover them, or somehow freeze them by running underneath them and hoping to draw them towards the line of scrimmage and throw it over his head.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And we are tied at 7. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And it ends with the Chargers getting into the end zone. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Well, you got a receiver here who's got one touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And we spotlight Keenan Allen as he gets set to go back to work. Sitting right around the midpoint of the season, on pace for 1,000 yards. Good year so far, and I'm sure film study being devoted to him a little bit more on the other side.
They have to, because the pace that he's carrying right now, if you're pushing 1,000-yard pace as a receiver, that means he warrants your attention. And right now, precision is going on with their offense, kind of like that timepiece you wear on your wrist.
And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags, and I believe this is going to be a first down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. They run the counter. It's Jackson, and he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down now, it's Jackson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stop that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got it.
And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. Shane Ray, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
This is fielded at the 27. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. Throwing on 1st down, it's Carr. Got his man, that's Tyrell Williams. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Hauling it in, Nelson. And he's going to have the 1st down, yardage to the 35. His first catch, good for 9 and a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Go Chiefs! Under 10, 10.
On first, here's Washington. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn into big plays.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on fourth. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. Carr now already at 100 yards passing in this first quarter. It's 1st and 10.
Check 83, ball's going to 83.
Carr gives it off to Washington. And he lost the football. And picked up by the Chargers. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. These two teams all tied after one. Charger football to start quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. The Charger drive about to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. But they're looking.
And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Tahir Whitehead. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. On 2nd down, this is Jackson. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. 3rd and long for Rivers. It's complete to the tight end Clay. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And the Raiders pick it up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Carr. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot, and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
And they'll turn to a power game to try to get in. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Well, big man with the ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
Washington, 3rd and goal. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh, yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. It's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment,
The Charger drive about to get going. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
The dump-off gets them only one, and now you're looking at a third down. On third down, Rivers. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open. He finds a way to pick up a first down.
On second down, it's Jackson. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Chargers on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, Rivers. And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. Shane Ray make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going. But we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down. Now Carr. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. To throw again on second down. Carr. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Carr to throw again. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Phillip Rivers and his Chargers about ready to take over again. But a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, a little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass, no interceptions for him personally to this point. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. The 30, 10, and all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Travis Benjamin, his third touchdown now on the year. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
And he went all the way into the end zone. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Derek Carr and the Raiders set for their next possession. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure this team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Antonio Brown, his second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And once again, the Raiders are back out in front. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. Remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Inside of a minute left in the half, does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive? And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. To hear Whitehead, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really turning in an incredible performance. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. So we have reached halftime. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go!
Now let's discuss Antonio Brown as he heads back out there now. And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he's really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too.
And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They go play action here on first down. Flush to his right. He'll let this, and he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. third touchdown pass now for Derek Carr. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Well, they went play action there and set it up nicely for him. I mean, he can flat fly, and they hit him downfield.
And it doesn't take much to create that extra bit of space that a guy of his speed needs. If you go play action, all you want is just a moment where the guys covering take their attention somewhere else, and then he's by him. And once he's by him, there's no catching him. As they always like to say, if a receiver's even to a defensive back, that means he's leaving.
Unless that DB is Charles Davis, right?
In that case, he left me a long time ago.
Come on now.
Trust me.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Now it's Jackson, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now Rivers, and the Raiders have got him. Tahir Whitehead in there to get him again. That is sack number 6, one off the NFL record of 7.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
So out come the Raiders. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Right back to Washington. 3 yards on the pickup there, and they've got it back to 3rd and 10. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe it'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going, nope. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Tahir Whitehead in there for the 7th time in this game alone, and that ties him with the late Derek Thomas for the most sacks ever in a single game. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. On the draw, here's Jackson. And a good job by the Raider defense yet again as they drop him for a 2nd straight loss.
But these guys got to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Tahir Whitehead in there yet again. They just cannot block him. He now has 8 sacks, and that is a new single-game record.
Now, this is where field awareness comes into play. He's getting perilously close to his own goal line, and after that sack, backed up to his own 2.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And where will this be spotted? The side judge says it went out just across midfield. And now Oakland ready to take the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a...
This is caught at the 20. A gain of 32 that time. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one rips, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are shredded.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And picked up by the Chargers. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. The 20. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, L.A.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. You know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And they're within 7 now at 28-21. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. They'll be looking to make amends for the events of a moment ago. A fumble return for 6 points.
You absolutely have to protect the football. That's got to be priority number one because margin for error is starting to slip away. And now it's down to a one-score game.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Throwing his car on 3rd down. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Joey Bosa able to record his 5th sack of the season.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game. But this player, disruptive in all phases. Whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Returning, it's Benjamin. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
On 2nd and 9, Rivers. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 23 yards the pickup there.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. With good timing, you get a completion as we just saw there.
But now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Rivers incomplete on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10. They run with Jackson out of the gun. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Back now in the East Bay. It's Charger football, but they trail here as we get going in quarter number 4. To throw, Rivers. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Shane Ray in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
They'll start the drive with Washington. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they have and now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And he loses the football a second time. And picked up by the Chargers. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
23 yards on the play. They run on first down with Jackson. And he's brought down. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
They'll try the ground game with Jackson. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. Back at the 2 now. Here's second and goal. Rivers to throw it. Got a man. It's Allen for the Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year, as they can now even this game here in the fourth quarter with the extra point.
Boy, that route is really tough to cover, because if they're running it correctly, you think it's really going to be a slant.
Yeah, well, we talk all the time about how it's tough to execute offensively, but you're saying, don't forget, it's tough to cover for the defense, too.
Yeah, the number one thing that you're taught is to not get caught inside or get beat inside. So you guard that a little bit more. So that gives you a little bit more space to operate outside if you start your move initially inside if you're a receiver.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Carr now to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. Melvin Ingram dropping the hammer off the edge. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
The throw over the middle taken in. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards to pick up there. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Carr going to get this to Nelson, and he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying.
Now the ball comes loose and picked up by the Chargers. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35. And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. Tahir Whitehead coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver there, Allen, but now it'll be third down. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is third and long. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A big play there for L.A. 47 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 25-yard. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tahir Whitehead. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. To throw is Rivers. He's got a man complete. It's Clay. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Throwing on third and long. Rivers looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. In for the score. And they're able to break the tie and move out in front here in this fourth quarter.
And that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking, there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now, on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
7:34. 49, guys.
Back to throw, Carr. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Joey Bosa in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. He's back to throw. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, but now it's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Back to throw. He gets it to Brown, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion. He'll look to throw. They're hauling it in, Nelson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. To throw is Carr. Got him in. It's Brown. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. What a great sequence by this defense so far. They've given him nowhere to go with the football.
And they just have to make it stand up one more time because it appears that they've got their number. Can they not have a slip up here and allow the touchdown?
Back to throw. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. And this ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime.
Obviously, the excitement level here is almost at fever. It's tempting to go for two. I say you go ahead and kick the extra point. You got the home crowd carried into overtime.
I'm with you. I do see some fans, though, holding up 2 fingers. Easy now.
Yeah, but they're not the ones who have to actually make that call, are they?
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we may very well be headed to overtime. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. This is fielded at the goal line. He'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. And we have free football overtime. Here we go, my friend.
And the way this game played out, this is exactly how it should end, going to overtime, because neither one got an advantage today.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now Carr, he completes it to Nelson. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Back-to-back completions, and that puts them in enemy territory.
And we're always looking for that elusive term, momentum, aren't we? And I think they're building it with the back-to-back completions. Now they feel like they can either take a shot or continue to build it the way that they're doing now. Safe throws, get it to their playmakers, and see what happens.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On play action, it's Carr. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Carr going to throw. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. It'll be a gain of 18 on the play, and that'll make it second down. Looking to throw again on second down. Carr caught by Nelson. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Carr will come up here with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Shotgun now for Carr. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Joey Bosa make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Catch made, it's Moreau. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And this will be caught. Touchdown. They needed overtime to get it done, but put this one in the win column. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted, but how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the